Oh, I did recently, like a couple days ago.
Sunday.
Sunday?
I was out shopping and came home and it was done.
Yep.
I didn't
I
get the
figured
DLC.
the whole family is playing. I got kids that are 6 and 8, and they're playing it too. Everyone's fighting over it, so I figured $20 was worth it.
Oh yeah, keep everybody busy.
Not fighting. We are jockeying. Fighting would involve fisticuffs.
Negotiating?
Yes.
You're negotiating our access to the electronic entertainment. I'm not buying another PS4.
What?
I'm not doing it.
I wouldn't let you in.
All right.
I've been playing
We'll wait for the PS5.
the PS5. I've been playing Ni no Kuni 2 lately, and I just can't get my butt off of that so I can go and paint. And I'm like, I've got to go and paint.
Well, that's the good thing about me doing this is I'm not one of the people arguing for it.
Oh.
Not all the time. Happens. Alright, so this would all be glowing. This would all be glowing. So now I'm just heavy purple. I mean, it's watered down, but the whole inside of this thing would be a rock in the purple. Maybe I'll leave like right on the other side of this beam here alone so that it's casting a shadow.
Yeah, I'd say came through the ash instead of the mud. Came through the ash of what was it? Aunt Veru,
Mustafar? I don't know.
Uncle Ben, or whatever. I think I want to do gray. I don't think I want to do blue. I got some Vallejo neutral gray. I'm going to try that out on the armor plated and see how that looks. Everybody can kick my butt later. I'll add some blue to it. How about that? I'll add some blue somewhere on here so it'll kind of match.
Could wash.
And use this neutral gray from Vallejo. Come on out. Ooh, that's really thick. Should shake that up some more. Got a paint shaker coming from freaking China. I ordered a paint shaker and it was like $30. I'm like, that's not bad. And then after I ordered it and it was on its way, I see it's coming from China. I'm like, you son of a...
eBay?
No, Amazon.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
Damn Bezos. It's like I can't get my brush back behind this rib on this ship that you can't see because I have no light. But I don't care. You're never going to see it.
Nope. I also got to paint up this because this came in there. I got one of the lucky ones. I got the God tier lizard guy because they were giving away God tier models in the VIG, and so I'm going to paint that guy up.
Cool.
And give that away because I have no need or desire for God tier right now.
I'm not giving this away.
What?
This one's mine.
We give away everything that we paint. Not.
People can put their own together.
But.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of, I'm going to call it sticker shock, hobby shock, whatever you want to call it. People we're used to models coming in and fitting, not having to use a hairdryer.
Oh, my Grimkin I hair dried the like, especially the Skin and Moans. I didn't like that one static pose that they had with their arms just hanging down. So I went and redid their poses and hair dried their arms in different positions and kind of their bodies in different positions, because I was like, there's no way I'm sticking this all, especially when I run 4 in an army.
I see so many people with that seam between the shoulder and the torso.
What?
It's all
Nuh-uh.
And I'm like, I don't judge because I didn't put it together, so I don't know how hard it is. So
There is a
I'll shut.
huge gap on that shoulder area. I think PP just needs a little bit more work. And I hate to say this, but they need to look at like the Wrath of Kings models from Simon.
Mini.
Yeah, from their line, because those things put together so well, had very few gaps, very few mold lines. It sucks that they're not doing anything with that line anymore. But it was one of the best miniatures grouping that I've put together.
I found another area that didn't get primer or anything. You can see it kind of up in here.
Where?
I don't care.
Where was it? I didn't see. Sorry.
Right here. On the back side of that beam.
Oh.
It's gray. The resin's showing. But who's ever going to be doing this?
It's not like you're putting it in a competition, are you?
No. I'm going for high tabletop.
I'm going for getting done.
We call that tabletop.
Scott's like, not putting that boat together again. I've heard a lot of that.
I don't mind it. I mean, I'm kind of a glutton for the hobby punishment, though, so totally understand why other people would not want to.
Yeah. What was it? One thing I had to complain about the Grimkin stuff was the dread rots, because whatever plastic, whatever they used for that, horrible.
Was it a PVC?
A rubbery PVC, and I'm talking like everything bent.
Oh yeah, I saw someone post a video of that where he's taking the pitchfork and going nerd, nerd.
Yeah. That was highly, it's funny because that was my favorite model out of the whole series, was that, and I was like, ugh. I was so mad.
So here, cannons, right down the corner.
Uh-huh.
That's the glowing side, and that's the non-glowing side. So they'll go in that way with the soul wave behind them. All right, I think I got fairly everything I'm going to get on the inside there with that coat. Maybe I can get a little right here. All right. Now I can start with the magenta.
Kind of disappointed I'm missing lock and load this year.
Here's a mast sticking down the bottom with the soul wave all around it.
Oh, there's a mast in the middle of it?
Yeah, you see the top part of it there?
Yeah, I saw you painting something brown or whatever.
And then it carries down to this part right here. It's actually molded mast right there. It's part of the soul wave, and it lines up with the top mast. In a real ship, that goes all the way down. It doesn't just stop at the deck. And honestly, the only thing that's going to stay purple on the soul wave is going to probably be the lower areas where there's no... Mostly going to be magenta. But that way I don't have to do like 15 layers of magenta either. Start leaving some of the crevices at the bottom of that, not magenta'd.
Oh yeah, when you get people that are tabletop that are competition painters and they're like, I'm gonna do a tabletop painting, and you're like, jerk, because you know their tabletop is like your competition style.
Mm-hmm. I'm still Facebook friended. What's his name? Matt DiPietro. He
Oh,
left me. He's got his own. This is my tabletop, and you're like, oh,
fuck off, man.
okay, all right.
I mean, you saw his thing he did for Crystal Brush this year, right?
Yep.
That thing was
With the fish.
insane. Oh yeah.
Dude likes painting fish. His Crystal Brush last year was a fish over the dude's shoulders.
Oh, was that the
Right.
one he did that one?
I think so. The called like Ice Fisherman of Triton or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my favorite one. I think that should have won overall, but you know, just because I like the color and the scheme, and it just did a lot of blending and everything with it, and I just thought it was really, really good.
So here I'm actually doing the OSL part. Down on the deck. Which again no one can see because my lighting here sucks. I should get my friggin' I have lights. I'm just too lazy to set them up. I should stop doing that. Being lazy.
You can be not professional like me and just buy some cheapo lights from Amazon to use.
I have cheap. You know what? Screw it. I got a couple minutes. I'm just gonna go grab a light.
A couple of minutes. We're gonna be here for like 4 more hours.
Well, I'm only gonna be here for about 45. So I work tomorrow morning.
So do I. I gotta teach jerks tomorrow.
Ugh.
Pouring rain to break sun.
Thought I knew right where light was.
That's all right.
Turns out I lied.
Liar.
Well, we'll just continue with the filthy casual paint video. Once my wife comes to the rescue. I'm so stereotypical male. I can't find everything. My wife goes and looks, and she's like, "You mean this?"
You mean this was sitting right in the front of your face the whole time?
So give her about 2
Yes, thank
minutes
you,
to come
honey.
out and say, "You mean this?"
Thank you, honey.
Yep. No dice.
She fell in as a wife.
She did not find it either. Just means, well, sure.
Clip on lights and Facebook.
Yeah. Those are like spotlights.
Every single item.
Usually. All right. I mean, this thing has a light. Let's see how awful this looks. Oh no, it won't do it while it's streaming. Oh well.
You can do it on streaming. Oh, won't
Nah.
turn on the light.
No, I could use the other phone, but look how awful that lighting is. Not very conducive to actually seeing anything. You were not requested to do that.
Oops. Hit my brush in the wrong spot.
Stream freeze?
No, when I went to paint something, I got paint. I was trying to paint between a piece, and it hit the piece I didn't want to paint. So I was like, dang it. Just had to wipe it off.
Not sure if it's still streaming through Facebook or not.
Should be.
Oh, I just had it paused.
Oh yeah, it'll do that. Facebook is really, 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 really a pain in the butt. Because you also have to click it to say, hey, I'm going to stream longer than a certain amount of time. Blah, blah, blah.
I guess they have their own storage and bandwidth issues.
Yeah.
So make sure you're not
And
doing
also,
things intentional.
Yeah, because you have to, like whenever I stream Facebook, if I'm going to be on here for longer than 4 hours, I have to click a button to say, hey, don't log me out. Also, you have to, if you have any background noise that may be considered copyrighted, you have to be careful with that.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of stupid stuff.
The auto detection algorithms.
Yeah. Which is funny is Sunday early afternoon, I was streaming just to get some stuff checked out because I did an update to XSplit and Skype and stuff. And so I was listening to Apple Music while I was testing things out. And it didn't recognize that I was playing music until after I stopped my stream, and they said they couldn't keep it because it thought it had copyrighted material. I'm like, okay.
Wonder if they flag that and then someone listens to it sometimes.
Yeah, there's got to be some type of listening software or something that just says like, oh, this is this, and got to be an auto detection. And like Twitch, you're not really supposed to stream music that's not your music, or you don't have permission to stream. But if you look at any of the big streamers or anybody that streams with a lot of people and stuff, they always have music playing, and it's just like they're just streaming whatever. Like this one, I was watching this. There's this one girl I listen to every once in a while, and she was playing Adele, and I'm like, I know you don't have rights to play Adele, and people just don't care. I'm like, I don't care. Twitch would be the more than one to care than people watching.
So moved up to my next pink. Past the magenta with a little bit of white in it. I'm a little more careful about where it's going now, just to stop it from getting in. Well, first of all, everything's still wet on the inside where the magenta pooled in their mouths and stuff, but I'd also rather leave those magenta. Start getting some definition to these faces. And these things are far enough away from the edges that this pink might be where I stop. The first thing I ever painted for War Machine is the first thing I ever tried OSL on, and that's some Bane Warriors. And I think I went a little heavy on the glows on them, and learned a little bit about sometimes less is more.
A lot of people are kind of, and not just anybody, but also me, very hesitant to do an OSL or a glow because you're painting over what you painted.
Yep.
And you feel like I wasted my time on that. Let's ditch that model. And you just got to kind of do it. You just got to go ahead and go for it. And if you do it in thin enough coats, you don't have to worry about it so much and messing it up so much. You just have to be careful with it. If you do it in thin coats, you're like, oh, that doesn't look good. Take a wet brush and wipe it up real quick.
I do that all the time when I hit things I don't want to hit.
Yeah.
You can see my lack of blending's gonna, I don't know if it comes through on the camera, but it's definitely going to be a little grainy, a little liney. Someday I'll be a good painter.
What does he got to practice the 3 Ps that Dallas Kemp says?
Sure. I think practice is the most important one, but
yeah,
just got to do it.
Perseverance, practice, and practice.
Patience.
I think practice is what the really thing. You just got to do it. Got to be like Nike.
Don't be afraid.
Just a model.
If you decide to do it for a living and your livelihood is based on it, sure. Be afraid. Go ahead. You signed up for that. This purple taffy color that it starts out as. Ooh, see? Just got a whole bunch of pink on the top of that deck. Oops. Take that off. That's not where that goes. Gone. It's a Trevor. Hi, Trevor.
Which Trevor? Is that my buddy Trevi? That better be my buddy Trevi.
Attridge?
No. Let's let that dry for a minute. I gotta check out comments. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's Trevor Attridge. You little sly dog, you. Hey, we need to get you and I together on here, and we need to paint some good old-fashioned Breachstorm models. What do you say, sexy man? I think you and I need to. You need to print me off some Breachstorm models so I can paint them on the show for you. They'll suck, but I'll paint them.
I'm almost dry brushing now. Just with the edge. Try not to fill in too much of that wood detail with the lighter color. I'll probably hit some of these beams that are closest with the next color up. Oh, hey. Sloppy work again.
Cool, Trev. You let me know. We'll do some cool painting stuff. Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't send me anything. We'll take and get that started. Plus, we're going to have another show with you on to celebrate your start on the Kickstarter. That way we can go see this dude, buy his shit. He's weird, but buy his shit. Scott, I just saw your message. I've never heard of Lit by Stuart Simple. Am I supposed to? Why do I need to know that?
Somewhat the blue on it.
I don't know if he's on there or not.
I have no idea if that's a paint or...
A giant chicken?
Could be. Very blue chicken.
Bright blue chicken? Alright, try to get this more gray on this part.
I'm not using enough layers on this. The raised up areas are still dark. That's why we have lighter paint.
That's not gonna. That could be a pretty decent looking little paint scheme. What do you think? I mean, the colors aren't all there, but I think the gray and the metal look should be doing just fine. Uh-oh.
It's a smooth coat. Whenever I try to do that in a large area like that, I get brush strokes.
No, I do
How
too.
thin I make it.
I do too.
Big open mouth on that one.
I got what you're saying. I see what you're saying, Scott. I get what you're putting down.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's because all the other lights I have in this house are, the warmer lights, because I like them better. And then you have your phone flashlight shines on it, and it just everything on this almost looks brown sometimes in some of the streaming lights. It's really not very brown. I mean, the ropes and stuff are, but the rest of it's just kind of a warm gray. It's just how the camera picks up the light. Faces. Soul faces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that gray.
It's like a photoluminescent. Nixu. I've seen a lot of color shifting and photoluminescent.
I ordered those color shifting metallics that one company makes from my local store, and I've got some models I want to try it on. Some Dark Age Storm Elementals that I want to try it on. I think it might look pretty cool and pretty decent. Hey, Mark. That's another guy that needs to join me. He needs to be painting some chibis on here. I mean, I know he doesn't like me much. I mean, thinks I smell funny or something.
Weird.
Really thin. I'm kind of going for down here again is that shadow. So I kind of have a glow around where the cannons are. That first layer was pretty thin, already dry, of this lightest pink that I use. So now I can put this second layer on here. Get some more thin.
Standing up.
This will be probably the final paint I put on the wave portion. Just put some white on the faces. I still have to paint under there. I haven't done anything underneath the boat itself, but I want to get my cannons glued in, damn it. Oh, it's still really wet with the magenta. Scar's face is ugly because it's the best I can do.
I don't think she's supposed to be pretty anyway.
Yeah, I don't think I can get it close enough. Let's see, can I zoom into this one? No. I think I did okay on them though.
When I was talking to Doug when he was sculpting the pirates and stuff, they had him do the pirates over again after he did them because he said that he made them look better than the Scar model. And they told him, you have to make him not as cool as the Scar model. He's like, all right. And then like he wasn't allowed to put him like with hooks or peg legs or anything like that type thing at one point because they were like that's not the sticks this way, and he's like, but they're pirates. And they're like, no, you
They got the
can't do
pirate
it.
shirts at least.
Yeah. Yeah, because he said when he was sculpting them, he was like, I gave them a peg leg with one and a hook on the other, and your typical pirate type stuff. And they sent it back saying, you can't do hooks, can't do peg legs. It detracts from the sticksness. And he's like, dang it. Uncool.
I always hear about people putting peg legs on their Statixis when they have miscast or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can convert your own if you want. And honestly, I don't know how much light's going to get down here when people are looking at this thing anyway.
Probably not.
But, so I don't know how much effective anything I paint down here as far as the white is going to be. Because it only is going to be as bright as the light hitting it, unless you do something like what Kaylin's doing and actually put LEDs down in there. I am not. Someone wants to cast that Soul Wave and clear resin, go right ahead. Ain't going to be me. We'll praise the hell out of their work. That's about it. may give these guys a wash. No, I won't.
Denied.
No wash for you. Get a little light on them. So, question for anyone who's put their models together after painting. Do I need to worry about the glue only sticking to the paint? Do I have to scratch down to the resin through the glue where I'm painting it? Or gluing it, rather?
You should.
On the bottom of these things, I'd tape down, so that's bare resin. Not worried about that part.
Yeah, you shouldn't glue straight to paint because if the paint flakes and it didn't have a good grip, so it'll break easy.
So I should take my hobby knife and score it up a bit.
Yes.
Got
See?
All right. Now I got pure white. We'll layer that on these things. There were probably like mouths sculpted into these at one point. I'm not picking out little soul teeth.
What?
Not doing it.
It's all about the detail, man.
Not gonna do it.
I remember we had a good president that was funny and cracked jokes. And... Sorry.
Hey, there's a face there I totally missed. What happens if we just highlight that in white and get lazy? It still looks acceptable.
It still works.
It's just not glowing as hard. I kind of like how it's looking with the purple, almost like it's like a cresting of a wave. Like it's foaming up or something. I think overall, though, to go back to the whole controversy around the model, I feel like I'm my money's worth.
Yeah, there's been quite a bit of controversy about them going to the black ink industry things. And, you know, I talked to my local store owner about that, and he was like, saves me money, because if someone doesn't want to buy it, it's not going to sit on my shelf. Because he's got to order at least, one for whoever wants it. Plus the whole, if someone wants it else, he's got to order it again. And this way he doesn't have to worry about that anymore.
Do you see their new direct-to-store model for all the old?
Which one's that one?
Basically everything, not everything, but most of the older PIP numbers, a lot of the old blisters characters, warcasters, they're not going to go through distribution anymore.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
You can order them still through your store. The store can sign up for an account direct with PP. PP can ship it direct to you. I think that works.
As long as I keep my local store open, I don't care.
Well, I mean, then they still keep their cut. I think
Yeah.
it's less than the distribution cut, but they
Still,
don't have to keep it in stock either.
yeah. The I'm always a big keep your store open because you need a place to play and hang out and blah blah blah. So I'm always up for giving my local guy money when I can. I mean, if it's just a one-off, like I'm just going to buy this model just to paint it, and I know it's going to take him like a year to get it in type thing, I'm not going to worry about it. Or if I need to buy a whole bunch of stuff for like a project, because I'm going to be doing a bunch of modding, I most likely won't. I'm just going to buy a bunch of used stuff because I know I'm going to be cutting up the model. But for the most part, buy everything local. I like my store.
I mean, I didn't have a really steady local game store when I started playing War Machine 3 or 4 years ago. It's been that long now.
That's long? That's not long. That's like
For me.
That's like baby steps.
War Machine. I don't know. I own almost the whole faction now, but a lot of that was secondhand from locals who sold out or big lots on eBay or whatever. And then I started buying all the new stuff that comes out through the game store. All right.
I think it's funny when people are like, yeah, I've been playing War Machine and Hordes for quite a while. I've been playing it for about 5-6 years. I'm like, what? I started playing War Machine when it first came out, and all we had were battle boxes. We didn't have troops and solos yet. All we had was a battle box. We were ecstatic when we got troops. Mark
I
1.
saw it played around that time because I was playing Warhammer around then.
Yeah.
And that was right around the time that my group switched between a few different games because they got sick of Warhammer and all the random charge lengths and stuff that they were starting to introduce and rule creep and all. Bounced around a few games, and then I started to get married and have kids, and I'm like, okay, well, done with that.
Yeah, that'll cramp your hobby style pretty quick.
And then the kids got older, and I decided, hey, I can start getting into it again.
Yeah, it was cracking up. People are saying they're seeing too much power game. And too many models are too powerful and stuff. And I'm like, you gotta see Mark 1 stuff. Vlad 1, kill you turn 1A, kill your cast.
Well, there's the reason they started Mark 2, though, right?
Yeah.
Isn't Vlad 1 the reason they started Mark 2?
There was a lot of them. Vlad 1, Sorsha.
I think I found a good angle for light. To actually able to see what I'm doing.
I mean, it was funny when they were talking about, this is way too powerful. This is the most powerful thing they've ever made. And where all those old people are like, nah, ain't nothing. Still powerful, but I remember the first time I saw Vlad 1 rocket across the table, 1A, and kill a caster before they even got to play. I was like, that's bullshit. The good old days. But I do have to say, the PP has been doing much, much better with the CID and everything else. They've actually started. And I don't want to say balance because you'll never balance a game. But getting better at it, if you know what I'm saying.
Cool.
Except Denny Zero.
Oh, come on.
That was Scott that said that.
The Cryx group is still unsure if she's completely broken or useless, so
I saw a Sevi Zero played at the store last Thursday, and I was like, I think that IMN needs to go away.
Just get some glue on that paint. I sure did. Well, if it frosts, I'll paint it like it's glowing. Was Bob Ross say there are no mistakes, only happy accidents?
I agree with you on that, Scott. Models don't have to be awesome to do what they're supposed to do. They're just supposed to do what the developers meant them to do. There's some models I think they need to work on.
Helldivers.
Cossite Wisman.
Cryx entitlement. I have one model I'm complaining about.
Is that the Helldiver?
Yep.
I remember when they were evil
They were
badass in Mark II.
I understand why they don't do what they do in Mark II, sure. I think that'll work. Oh, I lost my angle. Where was that? I had some good light for a moment. Cannon. Cannon. That one's a little lower, higher than this one. Oh well. You can never see both on the same side at the same time anyway. There, now it's sitting a little lower.
Kind of wish they didn't do the Journeyman Zeros. I wish they would just started doing more new stuff, in my opinion.
It's just a 15-year anniversary special thing. In my understanding, it's the reason for it entirely.
Yeah, then you hear the Elves Facebook page group flip out, and everybody else that didn't get a zero flipping out.
Hordes.
Yeah. Like, well, where's our zero casters?
Mercs.
Now, see, you can give a zero Merc one because Gorton had his own battle box. Magnus had his own battle box.
From the start?
Oh, yeah. Gordon and Magnus had their own battle box at the very beginning of the game. Which I thought was weird that they didn't do that when the new battle boxes came out. They didn't do a Merc one.
All right, I didn't get enough glue down there because it's not sticking.
Yeah. I used to have the Gorton and Magnus battle box for a long time. I sold them off to a friend of mine.
Durag 2. He can't be as good as 1, though. It's just not possible. What's the point of trying? I am excited to play Skarre3 in Dark Host.
What? No way.
Yup. I'm going to ignore what everyone says is the best rule inner card. That's right.
I'm going to get back to play some more Grimkin. I got to test out against Haley 3 this week. Because I know I'm going to see that in the next few tournaments I go to.
Scott has strong opinions.
No.
Yeah.
Not a Cryx player having a strong opinion.
I guess you are a little stereotypical there, Scott. Sorry.
He's probably one of those people who thinks that Cryx was broken from the very start. Or Cryx as a faction was horrible at the beginning of Mark III.
I'm modded the group, dude. You don't have to tell me. I became the only admin during that transition. I was the only one who stuck with the faction that was an admin. Other than, Marcus, who runs every group.
I think that what the biggest problem with Mark III is everybody was so used to playing their army the way Mark II was played that they didn't want to try it as a Mark III.
Agreed.
And I think that was the biggest issue. That was the biggest problem, in my opinion. Because as soon as they got that theme list, oh hell.
What I'm going to do is, now that these are actually in, I'm going to try to make these look a little more like shadows.
The shadow knows.
I'm going to bring this back in here just a bit with my lightest.
Yeah, okay, I got gray all over this thing now. Kill the rebel scum. I have one of the kids that's in my class. She wears a rebel jacket, and I always give her crap. I'm like, get out of here, rebel scum. She's like, I'm not scum. I go, no, you're rebel scum. There's a big difference. You're worse than scum.
Parent-teacher conference will be fun.
I don't have those.
What?
Yeah, I don't have parent-teacher conferences. I'm a special ed teacher, and I teach in a mental hospital. So my kids are stuck to the mental hospital, so I don't deal with parents at all. Plus, I get to kind of teach the way I want. I don't have to do, technically Common Core stuff. So I get
Which gets a bad rap, in my opinion.
It does, and it should, because it's shit anyway. But
I don't mind it.
I don't like Common Core. Okay, I'll take that back. I like the concept of Common Core. I don't like the way Common Core is taught. For the simple
that might be different to different schools, but
because I'll tell you right now, I like teaching the way the kids like to learn. And that's what really, really gets me, and it's the reason why I like teaching. But I get to teach things a little bit different than anybody else because of where I teach. Like one of the things I'm doing is my kids are 15 and up, and I'm teaching them how to do a balanced budget and how to, work with stuff like that. And so what it is every time they work in my class, if I see them twice a day, every time they work, I give them 4 hours worth of pay for the first hour they work, 4 hours of pay the second time they work. So they can get a total of 8 hours on a paycheck a day. And at the end of the week, I give them their paycheck, minus taxes, the whole 9 yards. And they have to pay their bills. So they have to pay, if they want cable, they got to pay cable. If they want Netflix, Hulu. If not, they got to pay gas, electricity, gas for the car insurance, just your standard monthly type bills. And if they have any money left over, they can pay me, and I'll go get like them a Sonic drink or something. So it kind of gives us a little extra bonus for them to work and also pay their bills off correctly. Because the rule is that you have to have all your bills paid off. You can't have any, debt besides, normal standard type debt. If you're behind on your bills, you don't get to pay me to go get stuff for you. But every Monday, I roll on this random table to see if something bad happened to him over the weekend. Because shit happens. Flat tire, that type of stuff. Stuff you have no control over that just happens. And they always dread Mondays. I had one girl, she got a flat tire and she refused to fix it. She goes, I'm not paying $40 to fix my flat tire. I'm like, okay, that's your choice. How are you going to get to work? And she's like, well, I'm going to borrow my friend's car. I'm like, okay, well, your friend that is rooming with you, she's going to let you. And she goes, yeah, I'll let her borrow my car. I'm like, okay. And so when we came back the next Monday, she had wrecked that car. I had this random table of things that happen, and she had wrecked that car. And so now she had no car and no way to get to work. And so she finally decided to just go ahead and fix a flat tire.
And then pay for her friend's car?
Well, her friend did have insurance, so, that was good, and we got to do it, and it worked out, so it wasn't too bad. But it was the whole concept that they don't understand that, you can't just go spending money like crazy. Like a lot of my boys that I have decided they had a lot of money left over after they paid their bills. And so they just decided to just go ahead and just spend that money up. And I'm like, I'm going to warn you, you're going to have bills next week, and you're going to have to pay stuff off. So, fair warning. And they're like, okay, whatever. And so this week came around, and they were like, shit, I don't have enough money to pay off my bills. I'm like, oh, why? I'm like, well, it's just, I've got to pay for this and this and this. And I'm like, well, are you going to be able to pay me? You won't be able to buy anything from me. So you're just going to have to, suck it up. And they're like, yeah, you're right. And I'm still not going to have enough money because I do it. So you're going to pay a late fee on certain things. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to pay some late fees. They're like, but that's not fair. And I'm like, welcome to the real world.
Totally fair. That's what they decided to do. All right. So I'm pretty happy with the inside of that now. I kind of neatened up the glow on the deck. Watered down some of the magenta to kind of get it onto the boards, almost like a wash. Still can't get a good angle. Maybe if I move my camera up. So I'm pretty happy with that. All right. So the inside's done. Now I got to get under it. I got to get the sides. I got to do all my windows. Big window in the back. All I have on there is purple. Little glow ports outside of here.
Yeah, pretty much, Scott, we are playing Cubicle and Careers.
So now you're re-highlighting up the white on the wash?
Yeah, I'm just trying to test it out to see what happens. Because it's actually really, 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 really bright. So I may have to do like a gray. I may have to do another wash on it just to get it to kind of...
Come back down?
Yeah, come back down a bit.
You have a gray that's light like this one? Misty gray? You could mix your medium with some white, but then, mostly white and just a bare drop of the medium.
Yeah. I may have to just do that. I'm going to... This is all a test pattern scheme I want to do. Because I'm just trying to... Because, I'm going to have, like, 5, 10, 15, 20... About 30 stormtroopers. And so I'm just trying to figure out a quick and easy way to get, some stuff painted.
I think that Ken painted the thing is really going to pop because there's no other glow near it.
Sweet.
The back of this thing's covered in windows and they're all going to glow, but nothing on that side there. It's going to work well. The underside's going to be neat. You can kind of see the glow creeping onto the cannons. That works out.
I may have to do like a seal it in like a shiny varnish. That way it doesn't stick to the white as much and just goes to the recesses a bit more.
And then I'll have the runes on the front face.
Do your runes actually say stuff, or is it just normally?
It's just totally freehand made up shapes.
Freehand made up bullshit.
I use absolutely zero reference. There are Cryx runes, but
yeah.
I mean, the whole point of it for me was to have a straight up and down rune on the front, straight up and down rune on the side, one part of it straight up and down, and then build that in. Not a lot of those Cryx runes are straight up and down, so justified my decision to do that before I even knew they existed. All right, I'm pretty done for the night.
All right. I appreciate you coming on and hanging out with me.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
It's not like you. I mean, if not, I would have just sat here and just painted and listened to a book. And you got me some new followers too. Woo woo.
All right.
And give away stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get this done quickly and then skedaddle because I want to get some more PlayStation game going.
You can see how much this paint gets on my brush, and even though I rinsed it off.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. I think it's the Vallejo. I never have any issues with any of the Reaper colors sticking that well to the brush. This Vallejo magenta just clings. It's probably not a bad thing, because it probably sticks better to the model. But
yeah, I haven't started using my good brushes yet, so I'm kind of using my horrible brushes to paint up stuff. I have a bunch of Winsor Newton Series 7s. I'm holding off for one model to paint.
This is my brand. These are Raphael 8404s.
I'm holding off because I'm going to paint this bad boy pretty soon. For my Kings of War army. And so I'm waiting. I have to do a bunch of sealing and the gap filling with him. But he's badass. He cool like that.
I got a internet buddy who basically started miniature painting maybe 7-8 months ago, just because he wanted to paint up Kingdom Death minis. And bought a bunch of other minis just because he's afraid of touching his Kingdom Death minis until he figures he's good enough.
Yeah.
And I keep warning him, that they're never going to get painted that way ever.
No.
But I'm just cleaning brushes, dude. If you want to move your own to the main.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Ain't no big deal.
People can see how to clean brushes. Such exciting. So wow.
This isn't a professional podcast, if you haven't noticed.
That goes well with me.
We're about as professional as nothing. I don't even edit my videos. What are you talking about? People are like, you don't edit your videos for... No.
They go up. Done.
They just go up. I do not care.
Ain't got time for that.
Nope, I don't. I got better things to do. Like drink beer.
Podcast. Do you want
podcast
edited videos or do you want more content?
Yep. Do you want free stuff? You want free stuff? Don't expect good videos.
Brush well.
Yes, we are the pinnacle of miniature painting podcasts. Oh, yeah.
Doesn't speak well for the competition.
Competition.
All right. I'm going to hang up. So
All right.
have a good night.
Later, man. Thanks for joining me.
Absolutely. And if you want to just forward me the video or alternatively join the Cryx group and find my thread and post it, however you want to handle it. But
yeah, I can.
Posting a 2-hour video takes like 10 hours on Facebook. So
Does it really?
It depends if you do it from the mobile. If you do it from the computer, it's not so bad. But trying to post it from, I was doing that, posting videos from my phone for a little bit, and it would be like, oh, let's just run overnight. Still not done. Start doing it on the computer, and much better.
I'll look at it and see if I can get you, and I'll get you a Dropbox link to you.
That'd be perfect.
That'll make it a whole lot easier.
All right, I'll see you later, man.
Later. And there it goes. I'll be all by myself. The big old Skype screen. Because I'm almost done with mine stuff too, so I'm just trying to get some white left on this guy and see how it's going to look after a little bit. And then I got to get out of here because PlayStation game is calling my name. And if you're new and you did subscribe or hit follow, I appreciate it. That means a lot to us. Plus you get free stuff. Or a chance to get free stuff. Yeah, isn't that an awesome model? This model's super cool. Done by Creature Casters, and the entire model plus the base was only like $60. And it's good quality resin too. Definitely, if you like big monster models, they have some really cool stuff. I can't wait to get more from them. I mean, just that model was only $60, which is really, really reasonable. Yeah, it's going to be a pain in the butt to paint. That's going to be like an ongoing project. Alright, I'll just have to let him sit. Alrighty, folks. I'm going to log off. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being dudes. Remember, if you want, make sure you follow us on Sunday. We start the Junk Pass. We do junk podcasting at like 6:30. The show doesn't actually start till 7. And you can watch and do all the fun stuff there. We drink a lot. We do stupid stuff. Other than that, I'm going to get out of here. Later.